want to start this video by saying that these are all my thoughts, opinions, and recommendations. I'm not an expert by any means in this field. I'm just telling y'all my story, what I've learned in a year of riding, and maybe giving y'all some advice. I'm just doing my best to help any of you guys out who might need it, and I hope you guys enjoy. YouTube, what's good, guys? It has officially been 1 year that I've had my Yamaha R3, that I have had a motorcycle. For those of y'all who don't know, but you probably guessed it, this is my first motorcycle. So this first anniversary of it really means that it's my first anniversary as a rider as well. Now today's date is July 30th. My actual anniversary is August 3rd. So this Sunday will have been 1 year of me and my bike. However, I'm making the video today so that way I can have it ready for Sunday. So basically what I'm going to be doing in this video is just riding around, doing the usual, but I'm going to tell y'all like the story, the rundown. I'm going to talk about the bike for a little bit, talk about my thoughts after a year of owning a 300cc. Now I'm going to be honest with y'all, it's going to be a yap session. However, I'm going to try and put pictures and videos and all sorts of stuff up on the screen while I talk to make it a lot less boring, because I doubt y'all want to just sit here and listen to me yap for however long this video might end up being. But before the video goes any further, I have to hit y'all with the bikeskin weather report. It is currently 90 degrees. It's only like 11. Man, it's hot as balls. I got my long sleeves on so I don't get sunburnt. Yes, I'm a light skin. We can get sunburnt. Anyways, without further ado, y'all, let the story begin. So this is my 2015 Yamaha R3 in all of her beauty. So like growing up, you know, you always want a bike as a kid. So I kind of always wanted one. Never really thought about getting one until spring of 2024. I really started locking in and realizing like, hey, these are actually very affordable. Like I could easily get one of these after a month, or not a month, after like a summer of saving. And so that's exactly what I did. Worked my ass off all summer. Last summer, I mean, I really looked for every hour. I begged my boss for every hour of work. I DoorDashed as a second job on the side, which, by the way, God bless DoorDashing, because it's a hell of a side hustle. But anyway, saved up the whole summer, and the time came to buy a bike. I had been stalking, working Facebook Marketplace. Like, y'all don't even know how many times I open Facebook every day just to scroll and look at bikes. So I found all sorts of good deals over the summer. I was looking for either a Ninja 4 or 500 or an R3. Like, in my opinion, those are the two best bikes in the beginner class. And, you know, there were several times over the summer, and it was so frustrating. I would find a hell of a deal, but I just wouldn't have the bread yet. I wouldn't have the money. Last summer taught me a lot about patience and working for something. Never have I ever been so motivated to buy something, to save up for something. Guys, I worked so much. Like, I grinded to the bone last summer so much. I got sick twice during the summer from pure exhaustion. Between working out, working, and doing anything else, I was exhausting myself. That's how bad I wanted a bike. So anyway, enough yapping about that. The time comes to buy the bike. I find this sweet deal. It's a 2015 Yamaha R3. It was nearly bone stock. I mean, it was beautiful. All that was on there was the tail tidy, and I was happy about that because that just made one less thing for me to worry about. Bike was bone stock, 5,500 miles. Guys, a 10-year-old bike, or a 9-year-old bike at the time, with 5,500 miles? Are you kidding me? So the point is, this thing was beautiful and it was well taken care of. It had 3 total owners before me. It had 1 owner, and then the next 2 were mother and son. So basically it had 2 owners. And I mean, you know, I hit the lady up, real sweet lady. You know, so I live in Baltimore. She lived up in this place called Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half or so from Baltimore. So we rented a truck, drove up. You know, we met up with the lady. I met her at a mechanic shop because, like, I knew what to look for when buying a bike, but I just wanted to double check. I wanted to make sure everything was good. You know, even the little things that we can't see right off the bat. Had it inspected, paid like $90 for it. Great guy. I think his name was Jay. Bike was good to go. I test rode it. Guys, I kid you not, I spent about 8 or 10 minutes at the same stoplight going through the stoplight cycle several times because my dumbass kept stalling. It was a funny ass test ride. Like, in the moment I was stressed out and like worried and nervous, but bro, what is with all these cops out? What is going on? Anyway, I was at the stoplights and I was stalling. But I mean, other than that, it was so much fun just test riding it. And Dillsburg is an area that's kind of rural, so I was, you know, going through the back roads, going through neighborhoods, stuff like that. It was pretty chill. It was an early Saturday morning. There was nobody out on the road. So yeah, test ride, I loved it. And pretty much from there, you know, we loaded the bike up, exchanged or did whatever we needed to with the title and the bill of sale, all that paperwork, brought it back to Baltimore. And I was just so excited. Over those next few days, I already had it lined up to get it registered, get it inspected, all that stuff that you need, insurance. So I had that lined up. So within like 2 or 3 days, I think the weekend finished off, and by like Monday night, I was riding, and I was so excited. I mean, it was like I was a little kid again. It was like Christmas morning or something. In a nutshell, that's the story of how I wanted a bike, why I wanted a bike, all that bullshit. All those details leading up to today. So, from there, you already know, I spent almost every dollar that I had those next few months paying for insurance, paying for gear, paying for modifications, which I'm about to get to. Now, as far as gear went, I had a helmet and gloves, obviously, for the course, but I didn't have anything else. So I went and bought a jacket. I bought another pair of gloves because the pair that I had were different. They weren't the Alpinestars. And yeah, I really didn't get gear until, like, full gear until, like, this past winter. Like my boots and my pants. As far as modifications go, I'm gonna give you all the rundown. I don't know the exact time frames, but what I can tell you is I put on, I want to say, all of these mods within the first 2 or 3 months of having my bike, and probably sooner. The first mod I remember doing were my flush mount turn signals up on the front of the bike. I remember just seeing those stop turn signals and just, they were like, ugh, like, like just so ugly, right? So I bought TST flush mounted turn signals, popped them right on. It was the first modification I ever did. I felt like a little mechanic. It was absolutely nothing impressive at all. Sometime over those next few weeks, month, whatever, again, I don't know the exact time frame, I bought a R6 throttle tube, and that mod, I was so happy about that, because for those of y'all who don't know, with the stock throttle tube on the R3, you really have to like really crank it back, right? With this one, you just, like, you already hear it. Like, it's barely anything at all. I want to say the next thing that I got were these Domino race grips, and I love them. I mean, I really do love them. The grip is great. I always love when it's grippy. I mean, the colors just go great with the bike and everything. So after the hand grips, maybe after the hand grips, my favorite mod of all time, and definitely the best one, the M4 Street Slayer slip-on exhaust. And I mean, y'all can hear it. It just, is that a Rolls Royce? The hell is a Rolls Royce doing over here? Anyway, so we got the exhaust on the back. That one was so much fun. That one I needed a little bit of help installing because I had no tools, y'all. I had this little $20 toolkit from Amazon that really couldn't do shit. So I did what I could. I got most of the exhaust off, and then I needed a guy. Shout out John, man. He helped me out while I was at school. He pulled up with the tools and with the saw. You needed a saw to cut the original stock pipe. So huge shout out to John. He helped me out, and we got the M4 put on. So yeah, that's the exhaust. That's the best part of the bike, in my opinion. And I want to say after the exhaust, that's when I installed these tank grips. Tank grips as a concept are good, but these tech spec, they're solid, but I don't love them. I might look into getting, I forget the brand name, I'll put it up on screen, but their brand of tank grips, because the texture and material looks better, and I know that you can install them like further down on the bike, and that's really where my legs, you know, where they need the grip, not really up here, because if I bring them up here, then my feet aren't touching the peg. But yeah, the tank grips are great. Tech Spec did have excellent customer service. One of the grips came and the adhesive peeled off, and not even joking, within like 2 or 3 days they sent me a new one. No questions, nothing. They just asked for a picture of it over email. But it was quick, it was just like that. It was great. Anyways, y'all, as far as modifications go, that's everything that I've done. Like I said, the tail tighty came with the bike. That was the one modification that they made before I bought it. Now maybe eventually I want to get new clutch and brake levers. I'm looking at getting maybe some black ones. I feel like those might be kind of cool. One, because they'll match the bike, and two, the shorty levers might be kind of nice to have. I'm finna pull over, stop for a minute, and keep the yapping going. Oh my gosh. Is the asphalt like melting? What the hell? Hold up. Damn, is it that hot? Damn. She looks beautiful. But yeah, all those mods that I mentioned, you got your throttle tube. You can't see that. I'll put pictures up on the screen because it's an internal thing. Throttle tube, the domino race grips, tank grips, the creme de la creme, the M4 exhaust. There's the tail tighty. Like I said, I didn't do that. It came with the bike. And of course, your flush mounted turn signals, because the stock ones are fat. They're like the size of these things, and they stick out. But anyway, I can't believe it's been a year. It's been such a fun year. Man, other than the heat, it's actually such a beautiful day outside. Shout out God. Anyways, y'all, as far as the story of getting the bike, the modifications, all that stuff's been covered. So I'm about to leave y'all with some advice, some thoughts, some opinions, all that stuff. As far as like if you're considering getting a bike, do I recommend an R3? Absolutely. Perfect first starter bike. I love it. I've had a blast on it. It's been like the perfect thing to learn on. Plenty of highway power, plenty of power to have fun, throw yourself around, but not really throw yourself around. You'll have fun on it. Like, will you outgrow it quickly? Probably. Have I outgrown it? Not fully, but mostly, yeah, I'd say so. I still have a lot to learn. I've probably mentioned it in like every video now, but I did get new tires recently, and that makes all the difference. As far as the stuff that I'm trying to learn and master, the new tires are what I needed. So, with all that being said, you guys are probably wondering, it's always a controversial topic in the bike world. Is starting on a 3 to 500cc the right move, or can you start on a 600? You absolutely can start on a 600. It's doable. Now, would I recommend it? No, because starting on the 3 to 500 really gives you a safety net. And with something like motorcycles, it's you know, you can't play around with it, man. These things can be dangerous. You don't want to gamble with your life and your health, your physical, your mental, all of your health. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to jeopardize anything. So as far as starting on a smaller bike, I absolutely recommend it. You have that safety net, like I mentioned. So, you know, if you get a little throttle happy going around a turn or something, you're able to ease off without yeeting yourself, because the bike doesn't have enough power to really yeet you. Now, like I said, it has plenty of power, but not enough to where you're going to get in a lot of trouble unless you do something very wrong. I'll give you all an example. I think it was my first or second week of riding. I was going around a turn. I fixated on what I was about to hit. You know, instead of panicking and grabbing some brake, I just let off. I wasn't going very fast. The small bike kind of saved me there. But yeah, that really made all the difference right there. If it had been a bigger bike, I probably would have been cooked. Not gonna lie. Maybe one thing I would recommend is waiting to put all these mods on and focus more on like getting gear. Now, I was lucky that I didn't crash, that I didn't wreck my first however many months of riding that I did not have gear, full gear at least. But the mods can definitely wait. I definitely will say I put a lot of money too quickly into the mods. You know, everybody wants that loud pipe, pause. Everybody wants that loud exhaust. Everybody wants the cool hand grips, whatever. Everybody wants to make their bike go faster, sound louder, and look cooler, right? But you can 100% wait for that stuff, you know? Learn your basics, be safe, get your gear. That's something that I didn't do. Now, I was safe as I could be. I learned the basics, but I didn't get the gear. So maybe get your gear first and move on from there. Another thing, I would recommend learning how to do your own maintenance, how to do your own repairs, all that kind of stuff. As I mentioned, all the mods that I put on, I did by myself. with an exception of the exhaust, because like I mentioned with the exhaust, you have to go all the way under, through the front, through there, and you have to saw off a fat piece of your stock exhaust. And I just didn't have the tools for that. I knew how to put everything in, I just didn't have the tools for that. But ultimately, learn how to do your maintenance, man. Learn how to clean and lube your chain. Learn how to change your oil. Learn how to install your mods, man, you know? This kind of goes with me talking about recommending starting on your, you know, lower CC bikes, like your 3 to 500s, but I would also highly recommend buying used for several reasons. One, like I said, you're gonna outgrow your 3 to 500 quickly. Maybe. You might outgrow it quickly, you might keep it longer even if you've outgrown it. That's up to you. But if you buy used, what that does is, one, I think $7,000 out the door is kind of crazy for like a 3 to 500 cc bike. When I was looking for Ninja 500s, that's what they quoted me at 2 or 3 different places, like 72, 7,300 out the door. I'm sure an R3 would be similar, slightly less, but similar. And I know that depends on your state and all that other stuff, but point is, you could get a very well taken care of smaller first bike for literally $2,000 or $3,000. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but the lady listed this bike for $3,500. I ended up paying $3,000 for it because she made a great deal and she was super sweet. And I'm happy I did that because, you know, what if I didn't like riding? What if I crashed? What if something happened that made me not want to be on a bike anymore? Would that $7,000 be fun to pay back or fun to lose? Absolutely not. So I think when you buy used, it takes a lot of pressure off as far as riding, as far as, you know, taking that risk and doing your own maintenance and little things like that. So overall, I'm very grateful I bought this used, and I would highly recommend that y'all do the same thing. But again, it's your world. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I recommend, and from my personal experience, that's what worked best for me. Guys, as far as I can remember, I wrote a lot of stuff down before, like, coming out to shoot this video, and, like, points I was going to talk about and whatnot. I think that's everything. If it's not, I'll surely remember it the next few minutes as I'm on the road. But listen, y'all, this was a very randomly thrown together type of video. Like, I planned it out and wrote stuff down, but I am so bad at actually talking about those things and actually remembering. I gotta start bringing a piece of paper out like Spunky Boy does and tape it here. Man, this breeze feels amazing on a hot day like today. But listen, y'all, I'm gonna freestyle some advice. If you're looking at getting a bike, do I recommend a smaller bike? Do I recommend you buy it used? Do I recommend a used Yamaha R3? Absolutely. However, what I am going to tell y'all, ultimately you have to do what works for you. This whole setup, this 2015 Yamaha R3 from Marketplace that I paid $3,000 for, is what works for me. It's not going to work the same for everybody. If y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I love to help you out. I've got 2 or 3 friends considering bikes, thinking about bikes, and I love helping them out with anything that they need. So I would love to help any of y'all out watching. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.
It's my stick doing magic, I feel like a wizard. Walked in with the ice, I guess might cause a blizzard. I feel like a nerd, keep counting up figures. Don't say that's your wifey, she lick me like lizard.